Hello guys, this is Zack with Zodiac, and here's the thing I'm gonna do today is we're gonna do a VTuber tier list. So here we go. Because this is something really new and I hope you guys can pretty much enjoy it. For something that's a little bit off the nose though, but something at least a little bit different. If you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content, if you want to see more. So we're going to start off with a YouTuber that is named Revsdesu, which I'll put him in S tier. For those you didn't know what Revsdesu is a content creator that pretty much discusses on gaming topics or gaming news, if I can put it that way, just like pretty much of anybody else who has done it before. There's just something unique that I just like about like Revdesu that just really just gets me just pretty much like interested in it. And discussing at least a pretty much a variety of what was wrong with pretty much gaming studios, how they pretty much like react, or pretty much of just someone else's nonsense that should be discussed. He really does a good job on explaining to pretty much the viewers of what's going around and new topics to pretty much just go on about, or if pretty much just someone's being like diabolical like on Twitter or whatever, that's really trying to make this situation, whatever that topic is, just really out of the way, that it just really ruins pretty much like the gaming audience or the people that support you, if I can put it that way. The next one I'm going to pretty much do is Bow. It is Bow. Which Bow is right here. And I'll give it... this is probably like a difficult decision though. But you know, bros before hoes, so I'll give it a B. B for Bow. Hope that works. Okay, so we're going to talk about Bao. And I think pretty much I can explain to pretty much Bao's content. I say the rest of her content is pretty much playing games with her other friends. Which I don't mind that. Like, pretty much everyone does it, including me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've read pretty much of anything else. Because it's just, well, playing games with friends. And everyone has done it before. But there is one simple thing that just takes away for pretty much about it pretty much getting higher than B tier. That pretty much his own letter. And that one simple thing, and the one thing that pretty much has made Bao pretty much in B tier is their ass sets. Ass sets. Let's get on the fact. Don't be noodling on pretty much in someone else's business, okay? So this is a reason why Bao is pretty much in B, and pretty much nothing more than anything higher. Because if it goes any higher, it probably implode my whole VTuber list, and probably gonna have to start a new VTuber list all over again. So that's why she's in B tier. And I hope you like it, because this is my VTuber tier list, not yours. And the next one we're gonna do is Fifi, and I'll just give it a, let's just say, oh my god, I'm hesitant to put on D. I'll give it a C. At least it's not the worst thing ever. The reason why I put Fifi on C tier is because I know she can actually make gaming content, but their pretty much recent content is full of not safe for work, So instead, pretty much because I'll try to like go for like pretty much a new content, I just don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. So because it's just way too hot for a certain company that pretty much does video makes pretty much has his own video provider and all that. It's YouTube, yeah. I don't want to get my channel get nuked by YouTube. Just want to point that out. So I'm gonna be safe and sorry, try to find pretty much videos that are safe for that. And I just want to let you know pretty much that's why Fifi gets a C tier and nothing more than that. Just want to let you know. What we're gonna do is Gargura. And I've heard pretty much she did singing for like one of the baseball stadiums nearby that I've heard for a long time. Actually, not heard for a long time. That I heard recently. My bad. What I'm saying that I've heard She did pretty much do like singing for like one of the baseball teams that I've heard recently. So I'll just put her in. I'll put her in A tier. She seems reasonable. So most likely, pretty much her content is music based, and it's actually pretty good to be fair. Not gonna lie. Even though pretty much it just seemed like pretty much her live streams is pretty much just like doing like singing for like all of that. I'm most likely certain she played games. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. From before on her live streams, but that's just her live streams. Most of it pretty much is just making music, and well, it's doing well for her so far, so that's the great thing. Hell, she even made covers of pretty much just like make different like covers though, and also introducing pretty much of other like creators and engaging with them as possible and bringing them in, which is also sometimes you also need that in order to pretty much just at least just give in though pretty much and just let them know it's like, hey, if you want to see someone else's content, then that's fine though. It just gives someone's attention, which is really nice. And I hope she keeps doing what she does because it is pretty good of what she is doing, and hope she keeps up for everything that she is doing very well, because considering if she has like a channel that is like around 4 million, a little bit over 4 million subscribers, I would say that's pretty well for her. Billion. Well, there's a lot of things I gotta say about Billion, but you know what? Shameful, I have to put in D tier. Oh, what I gotta say about Billion? Lots, actually. Most of her content is pretty much just like You Laugh, You Lose, episode number 1569. I don't know what put out that way, though. But she does it pretty much at least, I would say, at least not just having like You Laugh, You Lose pretty much scenario, because it would get bored really quickly. But still not pretty much like convinced that pretty much I would just stay in the channel for so long. Even though I do recall pretty much like watching one of her videos that pretty much she like running like pretty much a treadmill in the stop though. Like that's a kind of like pretty much like at least something like content like that though. So at least they pretty much keep it around though. I know there's pretty much like viewers that prefer like some other way to pretty much live video content, but it's just really not for me. That's just all I'm gonna put out there. And that's why she gets in a D tier. Iron Mouse. I've seen a lot of. And there's a couple of points that pretty much she was one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. Which I'll give her... At least she's pretty much like not annoying, like pretty much like annoying than the others though, or at least has like really shit content though. It's not bad, so I'll give it a B. Well, if you're living under a rock, pretty much of what Iron Mouse is, she's pretty much, there's one time that she was actually pretty much one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. Well, I would say she still is, though. at that point, and still pretty much doing what she does. And also pretty much most of the things that I pretty much like is pretty much the collabs with Sea Dog though, which they really paired up well. That's all I'm gonna put out there. But now let's get pretty much like check her like other content, which she pretty much does because you only can pretty much do so little considering about her condition, which just go pretty much you explain it pretty much in her channel though, like her condition. I don't have to like, go in detail about it. And also the neat touch of pretty much about her is she pretty much like switch VTuber models once in a while because let's just face it, that gets old really quick. Really quick. And I'd say that's pretty much at least a little bit different though, instead of just having the same VTuber over and over again. So at least you can pretty much just switch up any VTuber want unless that VTuber model, like pretty much that specific model is broken. But still. And her content is pretty good. I would say for herself though. That's why I pretty much gave it a little bit higher on the list than pretty much the other YouTubers that I just like reviewed from before. So, and I hope she keeps working on it and try to reach her goal. And hopefully fight off the condition. Praying for you, Iron Mouse. Kazuha. And yes, we're going to pretty much do males and female VTubers. Look, I'm more of a diverse person, okay? Because people are gonna call me sexist if that's the case. Like, well, only on like pretty much on Twitter or X. Or Reddit. Or 4chan. But let's continue on. Anyways, as Kazuha, I'll put him in S tier. You know the bro code. That's pretty much what it is. Now, Kazuha is pretty much like a VTuber that pretty much does games though, but it's pretty much in a different language, not English, so I don't want to pretty much recall like what language though, because it pretty much not discrimination pretty much, so I'll just like say it's not English, okay? So it's another different language. And just move on. But I would say pretty much there's a lot of gameplay, and it seems that pretty much he has a lot of like pretty much a lot of people actually behind him, pretty much playing pretty much of the games though. Like this is like Final Fantasy that he's actually been playing. There was like recent video, and it seems that pretty much is like a lot of like content that he makes on like specifically Final Fantasy 14. And yeah, just he's been doing a lot of it like recently for like his recent ones. And here's the thing, I don't actually mind like pretty much video game YouTubers, and I try to like look at different other VTubers though. But since I surprisingly this one's in a different language, but I'll pretty much just saying like I do actually enjoy like pretty much like this editing, even pretty much as less like pretty much dialogue for someone who was actually like saying pretty much in it's like pretty much like the magic of editing on YouTube, and I just really enjoy that though, even though I don't understand what it is though, but there's a lot of YouTubers that actually do pretty much the amount of editing, and I think that's probably really something that just really stands out. A lot of VTubers that I actually watch. Or even pretty much try to like get to know. Nurasama, I'm gonna put. And here's the thing, this is a controversial opinion about Nurasama. It was also like pretty much a turtle with Vidal, who is well, not actual turtle though, but has like a VTuber pretty much like this turtle though. And I would say this is AI done correctly. So for that, I'll give it an A. Because we've seen too many AI slops on YouTube, but this one is actually acceptable. Okay, Nirasama. Also with Vidal, pretty much like the turtle is pretty much a background that's actually pretty much like have this whole AI function of a VTuber. And it actually does work, believe it or not. It's not some AI slop that you see on YouTuber. I mean, not that you see on YouTube. That's what I meant to say. You know ones I'm talking about you probably maybe seen recently. It's terrible, but this one's actually an exception. And also pretty much it gives it like two different I guess you can say styles of pretty much like Nurasamas or pretty much different um personalities, if I can put that way, which it actually gives a unique one. So at least it's not just like pretty much the same one. It's just like two different ones, like the evil Nurasama and the good Nurasama. If I could put it that blatantly, it's just really pretty much like good though, at least for like AI. And I would say AI done correctly, then AI done sloppy and poorly, and pretty much left your channel to die, which that's pretty much there's a lot of fair channels that pretty much have like AI slop, and it just really is not okay for YouTube at all when most of it is just human based platform and interaction. So that's why I put Neurosama a lot higher for the list. Project Melody. Project Melody. Man, there's a lot of sexual content for Project Melody or like sus moments. And I'll give her a C. The Project Melody is pretty much like I would say a little bit more like when I first like pretty much heard of her, I was just saying, oh god, it's another one of sexual like pretty much VTubers that just pretty much like has a lot of like pizzazz with it. But I would say at least it's toned down slightly. At least it's not like a difference, but at least it's toned down. Like not all the way overboard. Like with some other content. And also I saw like pretty much just if I'm not mistaken, she also did like a collab with Iron Mouse. To correct me if I'm wrong. And that was also like really good as well. And pretty much like interacted with chat like a lot. So I would say that's pretty much also like a bonus of just saying why she's actually not that low on the list, at least for that matter. Which I would say is pretty much a good thing. Considering pretty much like this whole list that I've created pretty much just goes pretty much out of nowhere and just random whatever it comes up with for these VTubers. But at least hopefully she's doing okay and continue doing what she does. Fox Akuma. I'll put her pretty much like I'll put him like A, like front A, if I can put this way, on the back S. I'll put it in front A. I think that's probably most likely reasonable. And I'll explain the reasons why. Okay, Vox Akuma is pretty much like had like different types of songs as well, if I'm not mistaken. But also has done pretty much gaming content as well, and I think they're probably this. But I see pretty much like the dislikes, and I know the controversies. This so take the pretty much like the A with a grain of salt because there's actually controversies about it because I try to check out, and yeah, they're just it's really not the best. Because I'm trying to like figure because I never heard of this pretty much as VTuber before though, and I try to saying like, look, there's gaming content, and I try to like it though, but since pretty much of the controversies like arose though, I just don't want to say like look over yourself, but also pretty much is just like try to come with like an agreement if you're okay with like watching them or not though. That's pretty much like a discussion for like in the comments section below if he pretty much like stick with them though, even if he did have like a big controversy recently. But that's pretty much like in the comments for that though, in order to hopefully get pie across it, because I thought it was pretty much like things that gave me YouTube and a VTuber, and I was like, okay, cool. It's like chill, but just looking recently, probably not the best. So take the pretty much like the A with a grain of salt. Next we got Tricky. And I'd say she's fine. That's all I gotta say. Her content's fine. B. So Tricky. Let's talk about her pretty much. The only thing I just pretty much saw her was pretty much the one that stands out is reacting to her from a Markiplier video, which is a smash and pass video. Yes, don't question it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I found out about her. And there's also other VTubers that you probably know also with like this video that I'm just showing right there though, that she also does gaming content. Also chatting with like different chatters as well. Or viewers. I'm not sure what you call pretty much her fan base. I don't know. But you know what I mean. So I would say pretty much Tricky's was just pretty much at least I would say a little bit higher on the list, considering pretty much if you pretty much saw like the whole video, and if a certain other person who had a controversy, I would probably put her higher in the list, a little bit higher in the list than a certain other person, because I just recently discovered pretty much the controversy and it's not that good. So I probably like put Tricky higher in this list though. So probably maybe like let's just say probably age like milk for like this one though from the other one, but I would say Tricky probably go a lot bit higher, considering pretty much of what it is. Sorry to pretty much bring it up though. This meant to pretty much be Tricky, pretty much with the, like a tier list and everything, but I'm just pointing out my views for that. So good work, Tricky. Next we have is Reino, and automatically pretty much D tier. The name speaks for herself, and here's also the other reasons why. Reino, what do I have to say about you? Well, at least I could say you're pretty much like I'm not sure. This is probably like maybe like roasting like someone in the comments of I put pretty much in a D tier because at least pretty much if you pretty much seen of like her collabs with Connor that she, if I could put this way, simps, yeah, simps are really bad. I just want to point that out. But to be fair, I'm gonna say to be fair, at least I didn't see pretty much of the content for pretty much a CDOT for a while, and she pretty much go like other content creators and also pretty much playing games with like herself when she's live streaming. So I'll give her that. That's probably the best I can do. So I would say maybe I know it's a D tier, maybe change a little bit higher, like a high D, not a low D, but a high D. You know what I mean? Oh man, this is not gonna go anywhere. This is probably gonna be fucked up with this VTuber tier list anyhow. But we also got a bonus! Yeah, we also got a bonus. We got a bonus category for, not category, but a bonus, I would say, object that's gonna make it to the tier list. I know, it called me crazy, but here's what we're gonna do. For my tier list, and this is my tier list only, so you know what? Don't try to go in the comments section and saying this is wrong for pretty much doing this, but I'm gonna do it. This is my tier list only. If you want to create your own tier list, you may do it yourself. Or feel free to pretty much discuss it in the comments. Just do it nicely so I won't get shitted on. Because the next one is gonna be the water bottle. Yes, the water bottle affiliates. And that's gonna go way up pretty much in the S tier. Example 1. Fillion gets hit by water bottle. Part 1. Or the good old classic, Billy gets hit by water pole. Give water bottle, part 2.
Alright, holy frick. Frick! Fuck! Not again! Oh, my butt! I didn't deserve to sit on that! How does this game happen? Stop! Stop!
Because that man's a trooper. We salute you. Billions water bottle that have done it pretty much, saving pretty much content since then. Not once, but twice. Thank you, water bottle, for your support. What a trooper. And that's all for pretty much everything for the VTuber tier list. If you want to see more of pretty much VTubers that you can do on a VTuber tier list, please leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy it. And also, if you're interested in pretty much the VTuber that I discussed in the video, I'll pretty much put links in the video. I'll put links in the description of that certain VTubers in the link below of the video. There's going to be a description that's going to link their YouTube, Twitter. Actually, not Twitter. YouTube, Twitch, whatever pretty much necessary that they're going to use there on the platform to create videos. So anyways, thank you guys so much for enjoying it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, guys.